Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I am your host, Perry. With me, as he always is, it's Eric the Whiskey Mutant.
I'm swallowing water when you... It's me!
Solid start to this week's episode. Eric's already choking.
What's new? Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Good, man.
It's a good time to be alive. I don't know why I'm saying that. I've worked all week and I'm off work for the next couple of days, and it's fun to be here.
And you are changing work schedules too.
Next month, the end of next month, I'll be going to the light side of things.
I don't know what that is going to look like for the podcast, not because we're going to have to change any kind of scheduling. No. But because
I'm going to be coming in fresh.
I don't know what the energy is going to be like.
What if it's just too much for you, and you're just like, all right, you've got it.
I can't know.
Okay,
Look.
When you come to record, you got to stay up all night, and you've got to come in tired. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Do you think at any point you'll be like, man, I miss when I was able to stay up all night?
What if I'm like too hyper?
What if I'm like? See, I think we run that risk.
Like, I can't sit still. What if I'm like sitting like I'm in the chair like this?
You've always got your arms in your shirt.
I look like
like the kids.
I look
in school.
like an anime character.
Yeah. Well, Eric's here.
Can't sit still
again.
I'm just standing up
in the chair.
Yeah,
I would not advise standing in these chairs.
Oh, it's bad. I know.
Yeah, they need some work for sure. But you know what doesn't need a whole lot of work? Supporting the show, which you can do on so many different platforms. One of them is by following us on social media at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant. You can also find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. You can find our email. You can find our email. You can email us, is what that means, at thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com with questions or comments. For our mailbag segment that we rarely do, but it's always nice to hear from people who want to send maybe a longer form method of communication.
A letter, like an actual letter.
Send us an actual
handwritten letter.
I would love to get a P.O. box set up, but they are so friggin' expensive.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I figured those things would be like cheap. Like they'd just be giving them out to people. No.
No, some of them are like $100 a month.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, like you have to have the income to justify it. Anyway, I'd love to get a letter from somebody. You know what you should do is write a letter and then scan it into your computer as a PDF.
Oh, yeah, just take a picture of it.
and
don't even scan it. Just take a screenshot.
Yeah, exactly. And then email it to us.
Perry have to like zoom in on it.
Why can't I read this crap? What else can they do? They can send us a voicemail.
Yeah. For
barrel rings. 859-428-8253. Hey, guess what?
What?
We got a barrel rings this week.
No way.
Yeah, we do.
Heck yeah.
It's a good one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Papa Ritter?
No.
Okay. I cannot believe he was going to barrel ring himself in this.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking like Inception.
You know how we were teasing something on Mutant Madness earlier?
Yeah.
It's not a tease anymore. People are going to find out what's actually happening. Yeah.
Oh my God! Is it who I think it is?
It's who you think it is, dude.
Okay. Y'all better stay off for this one.
It's a good one too. We'll get to that towards the end of the episode.
All right.
And also, if you during the month of January left us a 5-star rating or review on your podcast app of choice, you have now been entered into a giveaway for some samples and for a private Zoom tasting
pairing with
us as well, and pairing too. That's right. And thank you so much to everybody who did that. We got a really solid bump in reviews as well. You know what I really want to do on the Apple Podcast app? We've got vast majority 5 stars.
Yeah.
Reviews. But if you take a look at it though, we actually are at like 4.6 out of 5.
Yeah.
Now come on. Your boys aren't 4.6s.
4.6 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
like
love to see it get to
5 out of 5.
well, yeah, but like even like 4.7, 4.8.
4.69.
It might be at 4.69.
I think it is.
We just don't know it.
I want to believe it is.
I mean, I feel like we're closer than ever to being, at least an A.
Yeah.
I guess that is technically an A, but still.
It's better than me in school. I was like a C.
Better than me in college. Anyway.
That
so that's that entry that entry window is now closed because by the time this episode comes out, January will be over. I
cannot believe it's already February.
I'm really happy that this month is over. I feel like I don't know about you, but this month has it's not been bad, but it's just felt like it's felt eternal. And it's also felt like it's a weird, it wants to mess with me kind of start to the year.
Yeah.
Things have just been off. They haven't quite settled in the way that I feel like they could have or should have. Not to, put qualifiers on the beginning of the year or anything. New year, new me. Am I right?
I've had the worst time this year writing 23.
I've actually done pretty well with it.
I've messed up some big papers at work. That's all I'm going to say.
That's why they're moving me to day shift. They can't keep having me fixing my mistakes like that.
I try to fix a 2 into a 3 and it looks really bad, and then the paperwork has to be redone.
Dude, we didn't even talk about how dark this Russell's is.
That Russell's is freaking amazing.
You can see my face through the bottle on the screen.
Look at you. You look like the guys in Futurama.
I was going to say I thought I looked more like Zordon.
Zordon? Yeah.
Rangers. Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
I'm dead.
But, they're doing a big Power Rangers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Anyway. The ADD is real today. But
Green Ranger RIP, though. Maybe that was CGI in there.
They got to do something.
Yeah.
I mean,
what if he's Zordon?
I would cry, man.
And they could just change the voice, put a little picture on it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anyway, but you can also support the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content. That includes, but is not limited to, the pregame chats, which come out every week before the main episode, and another special bonus kind of deal where Eric and I are kind of switching things up from time to time. Right now, we're training. I'm training for Matt Madness.
Yep.
Eric is training me.
Yes.
For Matt Madness.
Training day with Vin Diesel.
Yes. Oh, is that going to be is that the guest?
Well, that was this.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this before, Vin Diesel made an appearance on that one. But it's usually Denzel Washington.
Well.
And Buzz Lightyear.
And Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. He was helping too.
As well.
Crazy the amount of people that come on the Patreon, but they don't want to come on the main show.
Oh, it's very strange. Yeah. It's very strange.
Oh well,
but it gives us a good anyway.
See ya.
We normally start episodes out with Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks. This week it is Flying Blind.
This one says Eric on it,
and this one says Perry.
Do we have the answers to this?
I am going to get the answers for this.
Okay.
Very, very soon. But this was part of the sample set that was sent to us by our buddy Tony Baravides.
Oh, yeah.
Who sent us the Elijah Craig barrel proof samples that we drank through and enjoyed last week.
Yep.
And I'm having a tough time with this plastic.
You need help you? Burn it, I dare you.
No.
You never get it off. Just melt your fingers. At least you'll be good at.
Is it cool now? Is it
National
cool now?
Treasure. Burn your fingerprints off. You can steal whatever you want to.
Have you watched the new show yet?
No, I hate that shit.
Did you not like the movies?
No,
Really?
I didn't like them at all.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't. Never liked the National Treasures. I watched the first 2, and I was just like, I don't really care about this. I liked Con Air, though. And The Rock.
I don't like Con Air.
See?
I like The Rock, though.
We like different Nicolas Cages.
I really, really enjoyed The Rock. And maybe not because it was like a top quality movie.
Oh, it's not at all.
But there's something about Sean Connery coming back and playing a James Bond-esque character, but later in life. I love that.
I don't know. There's something about Nicolas Cage's hair and a white shirt that just gets me.
And a wife beater?
Yeah, that's what it's called. I was like, I totally blanked on what is that shirt called that I used to wear one time.
Worst name for an article of clothing.
Horrible. And back in the day, you just said it like it was nothing. 9-year-old Eric, hey, I want a wife beater. What was happening?
Homie.
What was happening back then?
I don't know. Got a pretty good color to it.
That smells good.
It smells funky. It reminds me of that Kentucky Spirit that we had on the Mutant
I'll
Madness.
talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. You got a whole travel log.
Oh, it was so fun. I was like, what am I doing
to relay?
I was halfway through my day yesterday and I was like, holy crap, I'm on an adventure right now. And I didn't even realize it.
We'll talk about it too, because I actually was involved in some way.
Yeah,
but
you sent me on the last half of my trip.
Yeah, exactly. All right, homie.
All right, cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Whoa. Wow.
Oh, my.
That's really good. That tastes very similar to a pecan wheel.
I was going to say it reminds me of like a toasted rye.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a pecan wheel is really kind of like that breakfasty that's more on the rye side. It's not it's got like that savory, like sweet to it. It's not as like straight up like strawberries or anything like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dude, I am digging that.
That's real nice.
We gotta wait for Tony to get back to us eventually, but he's gonna let us know. I like it, man.
That's good. That's good. It's not got a big finish, but it's just got just enough finish to be like, I'm going back for another sip.
I would. It's either a high rye bourbon or a low rye, and I really do think that it is a toasted product. It reminds me of Michter's toasted rye.
See, I haven't had anything toasted in a while, but like the stuff I've, excuse me.
Whoa.
Sorry. The stuff I've had recently that was toasted was younger product. And like you can really tell the toasted note on there. So I don't know if it's toasted or not. But I think it's a high rye bourbon. I think it's a high rye bourbon around 115 proof.
I was gonna say around 110.
And I don't think it's 4 years old. I don't think it's really that old. I'm going to say like 6 to 8 years. 6 to 8 year high rye bourbon, 115 proof.
Okay,
it's really good. I love it. I'm saving the rest of this.
Yeah, I am too, for sure. We're gonna give Tony a little bit of time to get back to us. So in the meantime, do we have any housekeeping before we get to what we've been drinking?
Do we want to mention that we're closer to something?
Yes.
Okay.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take the lead on that because parts of that you have been more involved with than I have.
So, as of right now, Tim Bip Weekend 2023 is a go.
Yes, sir.
I have been working with our friend over at the Clarion, which is the same place we had it last year. We've got the dates lined out. We've got rooms blocked off. We've got a few things that are still being kind of worked on. But other than that, we are a go. So I just wanted to let you know if you're listening, we're going to kind of do it like we did last year. Except this year, we're going to do 30 VIP tickets.
Mm-hmm.
This will get you a link to the discounted room, a link to book a room for the whole weekend. I've even got it set up to where you can come in early and you can stay late and you get that same price throughout. So if you want to come in from out of town, do some distilleries on the days that we're not doing things, you've got this is Memorial Day weekend, by the way.
Yep.
So we got that. Last year we did 25. We're bumping it up to 30 this time. It will go to Patreon first. Mm-hmm. So if you're not on the Patreon and it sells on the Patreon, you know, who's to say what'll happen after that? We can add some more stuff, but then maybe more Patreon members get it. I don't know. But if you're not wanting to come in for the entire thing, we're going to do the live show again.
Yes, we are.
That will be Saturday night before Memorial Day. We're going to have food. We have a bar in there.
Some music as well.
Yeah, we're going to have some pre-show stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then we will tell you more about the guests that we will have for the show. So that will be a separate ticket. So, you know, you're still going to have a chance to come hang out. But I say, if you want to do the tastings and the VIP things that we got planned, go to patreon.com. Perry already told you about it.
Yes.
But either way, Tim Bip Weekend 2023, subtitled
something.
We're not saying what I was originally going to call it. Is happening Memorial Day weekend, the weekend before Memorial Day. We're going to do VIP for Friday night, Saturday, and then live show Saturday, and who knows what else will happen by then. But I wanted to tell you now so you can start planning, because we're going to, in a couple of weeks, announce the link to buy tickets and everything. So.
And also, it's nothing dramatic, I would say. There will be a slight bump in price for this year. And I mean, we're nothing if not transparent about stuff like this, but there are a couple of reasons for it. First and foremost, I don't think that we anticipated the amount of work that last year required. And so
we paid stuff out of pocket that
we paid for a lot of stuff out of pocket. Yeah, we basically came away from the weekend last year breaking even. And so part of it is that we want to be able to, I mean, essentially we want to pay ourselves for the time that we're putting in.
At least just travel.
Exactly. And I don't think that that's anything that people are going to scoff at. I think that that's a pretty honest thing that we're all kind of feeling. And the other thing too, I mean, we want to increase the overall value of what this weekend is.
Yeah.
Year by year. I'm not saying that every year it's going to go up in price.
Right.
But I will say that what you're getting this year is everything that you got last year, but we're turning it up.
Yeah.
We're turning actually it right up.
To be honest, like, we're working on having our own room that's not confined to like a suite, but a actual like bigger open room to where people can hang out and bottle share. And if you're there for the weekend, we will have access to it, and we can just open it up and you can be in there, and it's not restricted to like being in a smaller space. So bigger bottle share space. We want to have more options for food on the live show. You know, we're going to do another thing where we do everybody gets a free drink on us, and then
dinner on Friday night. We're still kind of working on planning.
We're trying to work out a big dinner that we may travel somewhere for.
Yeah.
Then come back and probably do the pregame live again like we did.
Yeah. For sure.
So we're trying to make it a little bit more open on the meetup space, and then a little bit more options for food and drinks on the live show.
Yeah. So and again, I want to be as transparent about it as possible, that, you know, we have so many ideas and we have so much energy for what we're doing that we want to make it happen, and not just out of like a sense of self-satisfaction, but out of a sense of we want to deliver the best experience and the best product that we can to the people who were there before and the newcomers for this year, because I mean, we are expanding the VIP.
Yeah, we want to open it up for more people, because we had several people who didn't get a chance because it sold out, and we just couldn't last year afford it, and we didn't have the time to prepare for more people.
Yeah,
and this year we're trying to do that. More tastings, and
more tastings. That's a big thing that we're moving towards, and not just more tastings, but also a different selection of bottles too from what we had last year.
Yeah, we got some stuff planned.
We're working on some stuff. We'll talk about it off air, but surely we've got to replicate a big kind of takeaway from last year too, right?
Oh yeah.
I got some ideas.
How do I clone myself?
Oh, you
Thought I was the big takeaway.
We're not supposed to talk about that on there.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
There's children listening.
We'll talk about it sometime.
Okay, anyway. So I think that's the only real like housekeeping thing
I think so.
that I have. To the few people who came out to see me in Louisville the past weekend after, we're recording this on Friday the 27th, but for everybody who came out to see me in Louisville at O'Shea's Irish Pub last weekend, thank you so much for doing that. It was so cool to get back on stage and have some support in the crowd as well. Old friends, new friends, friends that I haven't seen in a while too. It was great. I appreciate you being there. More to come music-wise as well. And again, part of that will be incorporated into the meetup weekend stuff as well. So don't want to show my hand too much, but I got to ask you, my dear friend, what the heck have you been drinking?
Oh my goodness.
You had quite the time yesterday.
So let's recap. So
how did this start?
Okay.
Like, take us back to the beginning of this story.
Okay. So I had the evening off yesterday, which is Thursday. I didn't have to go into work till a little later. So I had told our friend David from Whiskey in My Wedding Ring.
Yeah, the Whiskey Ring podcast.
That I would help him out. He had some bottles at Glens Creek.
Mm-hmm.
That he had, been talking to them. I think he's had them on his podcast, and they were holding bottles for him. And so he reached out, it's been a little bit, and said, could you get these for me? I was like, sure. So we'd been talking, and I was like, I'm going to get them tomorrow. So that was how it started. It started out as me just going to Glens Creek to get a box of bottles, and then I was like, I'm going to come home. And I decided some reason to just make it an adventure. So I set my GPS for Glens Creek. I get there, and right before you get to Glens Creek is Castle and Key, which has the old Taylor distillery, the castle, and all this stuff. And I was like, I pulled off. I stopped. I was like, I want to take a picture. And then I went into their gift shop, and I looked around, and I was like, well, that's one stop off of here. So, whatever. And so then I go to Glens Creek, and I sit there and I talk to them, and I'm looking at the merch, kind of look back there, see what they're doing. They give me the bottles.
Did you try anything while you were at Glens Creek?
I didn't.
Have you had their product before?
I have not. I bought a glass.
Man, it is so good.
I bought a glass.
It is genuinely one of those hidden gems that not enough people are talking about. And I think it's because, partially they don't have like Glens Creek bourbon. Yeah. They have
OCD?
I think it's called OCD.
Yeah.
And the label is kind of wonky looking. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a project that I did my senior year of high school in my Photoshop class.
The lady hands me the box and goes, this box has been here for like 2 years. And I was like, what the hell? She pulls out one bottle. She's like, oh my goodness. And this one's even signed. I'm like, what am I picking up right now?
Okay.
So I get David's box, and then
you could have just held it for yourself and sold it on the secondary market.
True. And it says David on it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I make up somebody.
I guess.
What's a famous David?
Beckham.
David Beckham. I was like, this is a bottle that was held for
David Beckham.
So anyway, I leave. I've stopped at Castle and Key, went in there, chilled out, went to Glens Creek, got the stuff, talked to them. Heading back the way, I pull in Woodford Reserve, and I go in their gift shop. I didn't document this one because I didn't think this was going to be a thing. Went into Woodford, and I was like, I got old fashioned in Woodford. Walked around.
Oh, okay.
Looked at it. Whatever, it's Woodford. They didn't have anything. I thought maybe they'll have like a barrel proof or something. They're batch proof. I'm getting ready to. I leave Woodford, and I get a text from Perry, and he's like, hey, would you mind going to?
No, I called you.
Oh, you called me.
Yeah,
You
we
called me.
we had a conversation for a little while. And
and I'm on my way home, and then I find out that Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company is
more on them later.
Yes, more on them later. Is releasing a new product the next day, and I'm like, well, Perry, why do you want me to go there? They don't have product, but they were gonna give us samples. So I said, you know what? Put it in the GPS. Let's go. I turn around. I go to Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, which they treated me with so much hospitality. It was so good. Had a tasting there. Talked about their product.
Hung out with Greg.
We will get to, we're going to review those samples.
Yeah.
Greg brought out a bottle for me to try that doesn't even have a label on it. And he's like, this is one of my favorite things. And it's not, we don't even have a label for it. I'll probably talk about that later, but it was a rye whiskey and it was fucking good. So I'm hanging out there. And then I get our stuff, I leave. And I go, well, let's go to Four Roses just to see. So I head up to Four Roses and I walk in and I see some guy walking out and he's like, I can't believe they had a single barrel. And I go, are you kidding me right now?
Touchdown. As if you hadn't already made like 5 complete passes in a row.
Yeah.
Like here's the
I headline straight to the back where they have the counter, and the girl working there is cracking me up because she's like, act like she's holding something behind my back. And I get up there and she goes, I know exactly what you want. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And
excuse me?
I'm
madam.
I'm married right now. She's like, oh, don't worry about that. I got a single barrel. So they had a gift shop single barrel.
An OBSQ.
Right? 11, almost 12-year-old.
Dang.
It's 11 and 7 months, I think.
Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't had a chance. I'm going to try it with you.
Today?
No, I didn't bring it. I knew we had so much.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get to today.
Next week.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got that, and I was like, man, I'm excited. I go to the bar, have an old fashioned. Talk to the guy at the thing, and he's like, yeah, you came in a good day. And I was like, I don't know what's happening right now.
You've had a lot of at this point. You've had a lot of drinks.
Yeah. I'm controlling myself though.
Yeah, you do also have to go into work later.
Yeah. This is like 1:00.
Jeez.
Because listen, if you think like all these places are like 5 to 10 minutes apart right now.
Right.
I'm just making the rounds right now. So I've had a sample, I've had an old fashioned. And then Perry
that's when we were texting.
Yeah, then
when
Perry
you were at
texting
Four
was
Roses.
like, they had a new Russell's pick at Wild Turkey. And I go, put it in the GPS. Even though I kind of knew where to go from Four Roses, but I didn't know exactly.
You got to go through downtown Lawrenceburg. You're going to take a right once you get to that stoplight that's just past Heavens to Betsy. And then you follow that road down to...
But I didn't know where the
Wild Turkey.
temporary gift shop was.
Oh, but it's just like across the road,
I know,
right?
but I didn't know that.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I'm the whiskey mutant. I don't know stuff.
Do you know my mom used to work there?
That's amazing.
In the temporary gift shop?
Really?
Yeah.
I think I did know that.
Yeah. I mean, way, way back in the day. Sorry. I don't mean to say that like my mom's super old. She's not.
Did she get you anything?
back in the 80s?
I mean, yeah.
No?
I mean, I'm going to have a baby boy one day. She could have pocketed
Yeah,
that.
people weren't thinking like that in the 80s.
I was. Time machine. I'm just playing.
Are you my dad?
Let me talk to you about this, son. I went to Wild Turkey in the 80s one time, and stuff happened. No.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
So I put it in because I didn't know exactly where the temporary gift shop, because I hadn't been there in a while. The last time I'd picked up stuff in the main gift shop, whatever. Head to Wild Turkey. I was like, what's going on in Wild Turkey? Maybe Rare Bird has a bottle out here. Hint, hint. I don't know if anybody knows about that release.
We are actually going to talk about that before we get to our review.
Okay. Head into the Wild Turkey gift shop. And there it is. This that Perry has right now, a Russell's. Because I told him, I was like, do you want one? I'll get one. You want one? And they also had a Kentucky Spirit.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling.
From Warehouse F, which obviously you can tell we've got both of them now.
Yeah, and the Russells is from Camp Nelson B. I had never had a Camp Nelson B before. This is also so. Let me explain to a little bit of my thought process when you texted me and said
just
whichever one you
manipulated
want.
me. You're like, I'm gonna.
No.
I'm gonna tell him. No, I'm just playing.
No, here's the okay. So there's a couple of things. One, the stuff with Lawrenceburg Distilling Company. I was initially supposed to pick that up on Wednesday when I was in Frankfurt for work. Right. Miscommunication happened, wound up wasn't able to get it. And my thought at that point was, well, I'm already going to be in Lawrenceburg. I may as well go to Wild Turkey as it is because I had seen from, a tweet that Bo had made, Firebird Bo Garrett.
Yeah, I'll mention him in a second.
That they had these Russells and Kentucky Spirit picks.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of Russell's picks right now. I would say I have pretty much none because
you share them with everybody.
Because I share them with everybody, and then whatever winds up left over, I put into my infinity bottle. So there was that aspect of it that I didn't have, something on retainer from this distillery that I already love so much, but also that I have never had Camp Nelson B. I hadn't had a Camp Nelson single barrel pick in a long time either. So when you asked me which between these two bottles do you want, I kind of without hesitation was like, I really, really like the Russells.
Yeah, and something like that. You said, "F you, Eric. I'm taking the Russells."
Anytime,
I said, Jesus, okay.
Anytime that I ask anything of anybody, I feel so guilty.
It's me though.
But it's not a you and me relationship kind of thing. It's just the way that
I'm be able to drink it anyway.
I know, but it's just the way that I like operate with people.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't ever want to impose on anybody. And so it felt like I was like taking something away from you by asking.
No. Because I walk in and there they are. And I'm kind of doing the thing where like, I got a buddy who really loves Russells. I was trying to get him one too. And they're like, sorry, it's just one per. And I was like, I'll take the Kentucky Spirit as well. So it didn't work. But I walk in and Bo, chill as a mother, just leaned up against the wall. And I go, Bo. And he's like, didn't really remember my name. He's like, I kind of know. I know you. I saw the look in him. But
he knows and meets so many people that he doesn't really remember me that well either, but we talk.
He's like the Freddie that Buffalo Trace has. I feel like he's that to Wild Turkey.
He is, but the difference is that nobody's made a documentary about bourbon and put Bo
they should
in it.
I'm going to do it.
Dude, let's make a friggin' documentary.
But anyway.
It's just you with like your iPhone and you're like stumbling around and there's no...
That would be awesome. So I start talking
really
to Bo.
Bad audio.
Start talking to Bo about the bottles and stuff. Me and Bo both love Disney. He is a huge Disney fan. So we've been messaging each other about Disney after I left. And it was just cool hanging out with Bo. So I got our bottles and then I went home and took a nap. And it feels like the longest time, but it was only like an hour and a half process because everything's so close. But I felt like I was like on a journey. I felt like it would be like a 3-part mini series.
It's the entirety of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It only took you a couple hours to get there.
It turned into like one of the most fun times I've had. I'm like texting Perry, we're talking, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm having tastings, I'm having old fashions, and
you just happen to find bottles, you just stumble across releases.
I've never walked into Four Roses and they actually just had a single barrel pick on there that I didn't know about.
The only time that has ever really happened for me is when I'm doing tours.
Yeah.
Which I've not really done a whole lot of since September, October. But I would, on the off chance, we'd have a group that would go to Four Roses and they would have a single barrel pick there. Oh yeah, of course. It like completely offsets the amount of money that I make for that day.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I think I can justify that.
So yeah, that was a little bit. I don't even remember what else I drank like over the weekend or whatever. That was my yesterday.
There you go.
So beat that.
I don't think I can, man.
You've been working too.
I mean, honestly, I have had a really, really busy week with work.
What did you drink last night on the live?
Do you not know this?
I didn't get a chance. I was so busy last night. I didn't get a chance to tune in.
So I started a new series on my stream.
I saw the
on my
pictures
live
about
stream.
Bottom Shelf, right?
Right, yeah. So it's basically just me kind of re-exploring and rediscovering my love for bottom shelf pours. And I you can go back and watch that stream or listen to it. It's going to be in the podcast audio feed this week as well, or it will be already. But I went on this whole explanation of like, you know, I want to do this. I want to go back on this journey because, you know, I'm trying to lose weight this year. I'm trying to, you know, spend less money, ingest less calories. And part of that is not drinking high proof bourbon as much.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. That's what
And
I'm
so,
doing.
you know, paying $20 for Turkey 101 or whatever, just finding something that is a little bit more accessible, reasonable than, you know, just going in and always being like, what Knob Creek single barrel
Yeah.
do they have?
Plus, it adds up, man. Everything.
Oh, it totally does.
So more
It
expensive.
totally does.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to review something as well. I didn't wind up doing a full review of it, but I got Henry McKenna 80 proof.
This one?
When was the last time you had that?
It's been a while. That's why I was like, I got to try this.
I was genuinely
80
surprised
proof,
by
Henry
it.
McKenna.
Now, one of the things that I said on the stream too is that I think that this bottle has suffered from brand misrecognition because of the 10-year single barrel
yeah.
getting, you know, the accolades that it did at San Francisco.
How old is this? You know?
I don't know.
I'll be the judge of that.
I mean, it doesn't have an age statement on it. Oh, look, actually it does. 36 months.
What's that math?
3 years.
That's the sneakiest little age statement
I know,
I've ever
right?
seen. Show them.
Well-
Show them. Look at that.
I might have to take a picture.
Look at that thing right there. There it is.
Oh,
-2 font on the neck.
but I mean, like, Ancient Age does the same thing.
It ain't that bad.
Yeah, see, Ancient Age aged at least 36 months.
That's a bigger font than the other one.
Well, I mean, it is, but still, like,
Okay, so that's not
it's not bad.
not bad. It's not bad.
I genuinely was impressed with it.
That would actually be good in cherry Coke.
Ooh, I wouldn't be upset about that. But it's
90 proof? I thought this was 80 proof.
well, they've got a 90 proof as well.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it's 90 proof, 3-year-old, $15 Blanton's. Sorry. I friggin' love Ancient Age 90. I know. The thing about it, though, is I don't think that... I think it's cooled down a little bit, but it was a product of, like, once people found out about Blanton's and the mash bill and everything, and they found out that Ancient Age 90 was essentially the same thing, it became allocated.
This did?
Yeah, it did for a while, too.
I thought the 10-star was the only thing that was allocated. That's not bad. I like this little series you got going on.
I know, right? It's just a good way for me to get back into drinking lower proof stuff and taking better care of myself.
Yeah, and you can open it
As
faster.
well.
Can you open a cork faster than a screw top?
You gonna time me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This is crazy. All right, where do I start? Do I start with the...
Whichever.
Okay, I'll start with the screw top.
Go. 1.6.
Okay. All right, cork.
Go. Yeah, you're 0.6 on a cork. Never mind. But you probably used an extra calorie the time it took to
100%.
open the screw top. You just
could
work your wrist out.
Here's the thing, though. You could just...
What if we did one of those things? It's gone forever. Now.
I'm not getting it back.
It's gone forever. What if we did one of those things where we kicked it off the...
I don't have the coordination for that.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Oh, that is really good.
To have you kick a screw top off.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. You know, like that sweet potato dish that you get at Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
That is really freaking good, man.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. Respect the lower bottom shelf, whatever the crap. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I've been drinking recently. Do you want to talk about some stuff that's been happening in the bourbon world over the past week?
Talk about it.
So I think in a follow-up from our conversation last week about that is sick, dude.
There we go. Fixed it.
Perfect. He's a Elijah Craig grenade screw top. Anyway, so we spoke at length last week about the situation with Justins House of Bourbon, and more or less it was speculation at that point, right? I mean, we didn't know much about it. We didn't know what the plans were for their stores, or even really just why any of this happened.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm going to be as delicate about this as possible because there are things that I feel like I shouldn't say out of respect for the business, out of respect for those guys. But I feel like I can kind of, at the very least, say it was bad, man. It was a really, really bad situation that they found themselves in. And there is a really good chance that, and having spoken with a couple of people who work at Justins as well, that it was not not random.
Random? I was going to say
it was not random. It was an anonymous tip. It was calculated. There was a point to it in some way, shape, or form. So I want to be clear about a couple of things. And I don't mean to start anything, but I do mean to end conversations in particular places.
That's so serious.
We do this podcast because we have an authentic love for bourbon.
Yeah.
And we have an authentic excitement for the community.
Right.
We are not doing this because in some way, shape, or form, at the end of the day, it benefits us, whether intrinsically or extrinsically.
The
whether
only
we're making
is we get to hang out and drink bourbon
that is
together.
that is the biggest benefit from all of this.
Yeah.
For somebody to take it into their own hands, whether they have done this out of a sense of self-righteousness or a sense of trying to gain clout, and they have reported in large air quotes Justins House of Bourbon for the way that they operate, is one of the most despicable things that I could possibly think of.
Yeah.
This community is not supposed to be about us versus them.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a place where race, politics, sexual orientation does not matter.
Right.
It is supposed to be about inclusion. It is supposed to be about us coming together and respecting each other enough to not feel like you have an ownership over what somebody else does.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, like, just like you said, it's not supposed to be about, and I'll touch on this how much money you have. If you have more money than somebody else and you want to spend more money on a bottle to share with somebody or to have for yourself, that's fine. And
Absolutely.
And yeah, they were transparent about their prices. They were transparent about everything. And people paid money for those vintage bottles.
They've stayed in business for a reason.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they were just...
That's no reason for somebody else to get mad because of their prices or whatever. Like, and like we both feel that that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Like, people can spend their money however they want to.
Who cares?
I don't have enough money to buy some of them, but I'm not going to be mad because somebody else has enough money to spend that. Like, just stop. Just enjoy the bottle however you want to get it. However, if you want to save up, if you have extra income, if you have that, just don't worry.
But even if you don't
worry
have extra
about what
income,
somebody else
exactly
has.
Just do as you please.
More than likely,
it's part of the free market.
More than likely, you're going to run into a person later on that has that income that will share with you. Because just because they have a lot of money doesn't mean they're selfish and all this stuff. Like, you're going to get to try it eventually.
Sure. And even if you don't, who cares?
Who cares? There's plenty of stuff that's great.
You're going to be okay. Now, I want to circle back to the clout thing, too. I want to circle back to trying to find a niche within everything that people do in order to position yourself as a white knight or as somebody who has the greater interest for bourbon consumers and whatever at large. I have never walked into a store that I know people at or don't and said, well, I'm Perry from This Is My Bourbon Podcast, and you should be selling me this bottle because I deserve it and other people deserve to hear what my thoughts on it are. I've never done that. I don't know if well, okay, I know where it comes from. I don't have that part of my character.
Yeah.
That encourages me to think that I am more important than somebody else. And here's the other thing about that too. I am no Anthony Bourdain. I am no Jack Maxwell. I am no whomever. Whoever falls into that category of being an influencer about cocktails, about drinks, about food, about culture in general.
Yeah.
And to delude yourself into thinking that you are of that caliber is a mistake. And I know that I am saying some pretty big things right now about folks who may be in the same community that we are in. Not bourbon necessarily, but bourbon podcasting.
That can be any
podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
You should remain as humble as you were when you didn't have any kind of notoriety.
Yeah, when you're using your own bottles to review things.
Never expect anybody to know who you are.
No.
Go into every situation playing to the lowest common denominator. Meaning, don't expect anything from other people just because you think that you're a big deal.
No, I think, and to look at the other side of things, I think once you make relationships with somebody, then let them come to you. Hey, I've got a new product. Do you mind talking about it? I'm going to give you a sample. Hey, I'm going to send you a bottle. Do you mind doing a live? Do you mind doing that? Like that's so much more fulfilling than you going up to a counter and saying, hey, I have a podcast.
What do you got? I know you got something.
I know you got something.
But
like, yeah, build your brand, build your content. The dogs are going wild right now. Anyway, getting back to it.
Anyway.
Build a relationship and let somebody offer to push their product through you after that. Don't just expect it. I don't know. Like it
goes back to the conversation that we kind of had at the end of last year about not getting antique collection samples.
Yeah. Yeah, we got hurt.
We did, but the thing is, like, I mean, like, I regret speaking about Buffalo Trace the way that I did. Not because, like, there is a benefit to us having a good relationship. There is, especially in the long term.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I feel like I have to uphold because they are Buffalo Trace and I am just a lowly little maggot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
it's a multifaceted relationship.
Right.
And I can't just inherently go, well, all hail our overlords.
Well, I think it's a little different. I think it's the fact that,
I think it's part of it. I don't think that's exactly what it is.
But part of it is also you had those samples sent to you consistently for the years before, and you reviewed and you'd help them. And it was a slap in the face. And I'm sorry, Buffalo Trace, if you're listening or anybody there, it was to say that, well, we didn't feel like we needed to send you these samples. Like, okay, yeah, we probably overreacted a little bit, but I don't think that that's unexpected when we've consistently got that, and now all of a sudden you hear that. That's like, you didn't ease us into it. You didn't give us a warning.
Yeah, we weren't given a heads up.
Hey, come on. But we got over it. That's what you do. You have your time, you frustrate, you vent, and then you go on, and we're all adults and we go on with it. We didn't like send the feds on them.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't take it upon ourselves to say, well, I got hurt in this situation, so everybody else is
try to
hurt
your business
in the same.
Like
Yeah,
exactly. We just voiced our opinion, we voiced our frustration, then we moved on and we got over it.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And I think that this vindication that people have started to build in their minds of people who don't respect them in the way that they think they should respect it, but also for business practices that they don't necessarily agree with, which in and of itself is just a flaming pile of horse crap.
You can run a business however you want to. It's your
exactly.
business.
Who cares? And I just want to be very clear about our stance. I'm not normally like this with the podcast, but I do think it's important within the context of this conversation to say the way that things were handled with Justins was disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, just being honest.
It just feels bad. It feels
gross.
It feels bad.
Yeah. It does not feel good at all. And so that's you can kind of connect some dots or infer some points here and there if you know what's up or know what we're kind of talking about. But this is also in many ways, I think two people can probably say, well, why don't you just let other people do what they want to? I do. I'm not saying these things and then being like, well, I'm going to go out and report them to the FCC or the ABC or whatever, the TTB. Like they're just, this is my opinion. This is my way of thinking about how others might be conducting business.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everything with the podcast has been perfect since we started. We've had issues. We've had times where things were not handled correctly, and we've seen the repercussions from that. We've paid the prices for it, and we've moved on for it. But we are no better or worse than anybody else because of those situations. Yeah. So
you can report me for being sick. SIC.
For being goated with the sauce.
Right? For being a badass. Report me right
now. That's all. I've gone on for way too long about that. It's really unfortunate what happened with Justins, but in light of all of that, I want to spend some time celebrating bourbon and celebrating somebody that we love to death, and we have a great relationship with.
Had
and
a good run on Instagram lately.
Yeah, right. And just very, very excited for Dave Jennings and Rare Bird 101, man.
Dang.
I'm so pleased to see that he has gotten the chance to make Wild Turkey history in the way that he has. Don't you feel that way?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it feel like this is an earmark in?
I just feel like he's the one. If anybody's going to do it, I think I'm glad he's the one attached to it.
Yeah, for sure.
He has to be the one attached to it.
We're gonna have a little. We need to have a little toast to Dave Jennings, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this, you're like, "What the hell are they talking about?" Dave Jennings and Rare Character just announced that they will have the Pride of Anderson County.
Pride of Anderson County.
And it is a Rare Character label that is a rye and a bourbon that is sourced from Wild Turkey. 100%. The years and everything are online. You can look it up. But we got a unchilled, filtered, aged product.
Cast
strength product from Wild Turkey that obviously was, I mean, I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth, but I think the relationship that Dave built with Wild Turkey
100%
is the reason this happened. So,
yeah. I've been encouraged a little bit over the past 48 hours that there's a chance that we will probably get to try it at the very least. I hope that we wind up owning bottles, but at the very least, I just want to know what it's like, man.
I just want to know what it's
I
like.
just want to have the experience
and
of
I just
it.
want to appreciate the moment we're in, that we were here for this thing. And like, people might be like, what? That's not that big of a deal. No, like if you know the things people go through to try to get source products from Wild Turkey, and if you've listened to Dave and you've read his books and all that, it's not an easy thing.
No.
They don't give up that stuff easy.
No, they do not.
So, yes. Cheers.
Cheers, Dave, man.
Dave, Rare Character, you're all doing it right now.
What better way than with Russell's Reserve?
True.
To toast such an occasion.
And I guess that's a good segue into
talking more about some Anderson County.
Yeah, Anderson County, baby. That Lawrenceburg. You talk about Bardstown right now. People need to be talking about Lawrenceburg.
That's where it's at, man.
I
mean, Lawrenceburg has really stepped up their bourbon game over the past few years, and we are so dang excited to try out the first three. Oh, something just fell out of that letter.
I think it was a card. Right there.
Yeah, I see it. I just wanted to have eyes on it more than anything.
It's not lost for now.
I wanted to make sure it was there. But we get to try the first three releases from the Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company. And, I mean, as of recording, nobody else has put out a review yet.
Yeah,
because the day that we're recording, the products are being released to the market, and it's just at their shop.
I was there yesterday, which was a Thursday, and I picked up our samples, and they were doing tastings of this, but the sales don't actually take place till right now.
So, but before we get into the weeds of it all, walk us through that experience that you had.
Oh, it was great. So I'm in pretty much downtown Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
They have a shop down there.
Main Street, USA.
Yes. I walk in. They have a cool little facility. And I apologize because the lady working the front, she's a bourbon steward. She was very kind. She asked if I needed anything. Oh, well, that's nice. Look on that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I walk in.
I think we found our answer.
Yeah. But, I said, hey, And I already talked to Perry. I was like, I don't want to walk in and be like, hey, I'm from a podcast. Give me samples. He's like, no.
Case in point.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, too. Greg from Lawrenceburg had reached out to us directly and said, I hope this counts as like a press release. I'm just trying to get our name out there and everything. Very, very humble. Very just like,
oh, he was awesome.
Any support that you can give us, we would love to have. And I was like, well, the best way we can do that is just to try your products.
Yeah.
And so
I walked in and I said, I'm here to get the samples. They're like, oh, well, I'll get Greg. And do you need anything else? And I said, you know what? While I'm here, I want to pay for a tasting. I want to just do a tasting while I'm waiting. And it was awesome because I got to taste everything. And then Greg came out and he was pouring the samples for me. Actually, the first one that we try is from bottle 1. So it's cask 1 and bottle 1. So it's from the first bottling.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He poured it straight from bottle 1.
Oh, Greg.
Yeah. Great hospitality. There was another gentleman in there. He didn't really know how to look up podcasts, but if I tried to teach him, I tried to give him a lesson on podcasts, and he may be listening right now. So shout out to you if you got it to work.
Thank you, kind sir.
Yes. So I got to have a little bit of everything while I was there and kind of talked about my notes. The guy that was there was kind of like the people who are like, I don't really understand, how people get caramel and all this stuff. But then I was like, dude, if you like it, you like it. And that's kind of, and then me and Greg and the lady that was there started talking about that. And then, like I said before, Greg was like, do you like rye? And I was like, I love rye. He was like, let me let you try some of
friggin' yes, I do.
Let me let you try something that's going to be coming out later. And they have a rye whiskey. I think it was 7 years. He didn't have a label. It was just some marker on a bottle. And let me tell you, it's freaking good.
That's awesome.
So look for that as well for a rye release. That I'm not going to go into details about it, but it was really good. So I got our samples. Great people there, and here we are.
I just can't wait, man. Okay, Cask 1.
Cask 1.
122.4 proof, 220 bottles. This is a 4-year, 8-month single barrel. 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. Now, I think we can kind of infer where this might be from.
Who's to say?
Could be.
Could be. Either way, here we go. We want to pour them all up first or just one at a time?
Nah, we'll work our way through it.
Okay.
Oh, also, just to wrap this up, we have our answer from Mr. Tony Benavides as to what our flying blind was.
Okay.
We had different pours.
Double flying blind.
Quadruple flying blind.
Oh, Lord.
I had the 2021-03 Booker's Bardstown batch, and you had the 2022-03 Booker's Kentucky Tea batch.
Really? He was like, I know they haven't spoke well about Booker's. I'm going to just put something there. So the proofs were way off for me because I'm sure it's 125 proof or something like that.
Let me look. Bardstown batch is 125.5.
That's one you had? Yeah.
And the tea batch, which you had, was 126.5.
Oh, yeah. I was off by like 10 points on that one.
Quite a bit.
What's the age, though?
Sorry. Bardstown is 6 years, 5 months.
Sure, the other one's about the same.
Tea batch is 7 years, 4 months, and 14 days.
What did I say, 8? 6 to 8?
I don't remember. Yeah. You said 6 to 8.
Yeah, and they were high rye bourbon. Are they high rye? Or it's a rye bourbon, at least.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
Okay, we're back.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, well, flying blind answers. There we go. Anyway, back to the reviews.
Back to the review. So this is Cask 1, 122.4 proof with 220 bottles. Okay.
I've got a little bit more of an insight on these because I got to try them before Perry did, but I was excited to get back into them. I'll just say that. And nothing's changed since.
It smells like waffles.
There you go.
Smells like waffles with maple syrup on them.
My gosh. I think this is a complex sweetness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's sweetness, but it's
sure.
like there's depth to it.
Mm-hmm.
It smells so good.
Oh my gosh.
And it kind of goes, to me, it goes right with the palate too.
Yeah.
The finish on that is so good. But
the
makes,
finish just hit me.
Yeah. It makes you want to like really sit down with this. Like it makes you want to like, this is a bourbon nerd's dream right now because I just want to sit and like dissect every little bit of this. To me, that's how I feel.
I really, really like this.
It's
man.
so good, right?
This reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever had their distillate or any of their products, but they're not Three Boys anymore, but Whiskey Thief Distilling Company.
I don't think I have. I know you've talked about it and you've sent me pictures when you've done tours and stuff over there and all that. So
we should really go.
Well, let's go.
We like one Friday that should be our recording session is going out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. That's really good. It's got a like early spring, late fall vibe to it.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a comforting pour. Like it's a complex and sweet, but like comforting for sure. And the thing about these, all three of these, like spoiler alert, they're like so different. Yeah. Wait till you try. Like they're so different, man.
Did we get a price on these?
1 and 2 are $79.
Okay.
And 3 is $84 because it's
less bottles,
more proof. Yeah. So just a little bit. So $79 to $85.
So cask 2 is 122.7 proof with 216 bottles. Definitely from the same family, I would say. Like they're on the same tree. But there's more of a richness to the nose.
Yeah. It just smells good to me. Like this one, oh, there you go. Tell me if this is, just say yes or no, is this dangerous? Is that pour dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of how like unique it is. And I think that unique can be misconstrued as like different leaning towards bad.
Yeah.
This is unique in a way that makes me feel like things are moving in the right direction, man.
This to me,
holy crap.
This to me was dangerous because the nose is good, the palate's great. It doesn't taste like it's
122.7.
It doesn't taste like that. I would pour. This would be my movie pour. This would be fill a rocks glass with a big old pour. I don't want to move for a couple of hours. I'm going to sip on this for like 2.5 hours and watch a movie. It's good. I don't want to think about it. I know it's good. And I just want a big old glass of it.
Tony asked, will this be recorded?
Yeah, Tony, you're on the air right now.
I said it's being recorded currently.
Your texts are recorded as we speak. Oh, this is a movie pour. It's the movie pour, man. It's a 2.5 hour movie. I'm going to drink this while I watch a movie and just enjoy it.
I said, say hi to the listeners.
Tony! Not to be confused with Tony per se, but
Tony.
anyway.
Or Tony Bag of Donuts.
Or Tony Bag of Donuts. What's a Tony's on this show?
I got to remind you, or not remind you, that reminds me that I have something I have to talk to you about after we're done.
Okay.
An idea for something. Anyway,
okay.
It doesn't matter. Wildly different, but still very much the same.
You can tell they're on the same line, but like I said, the first one, it's more complex. I want to dive into it. The second one, I just want to pour like 3 fingers and just watch a movie.
Tony said, "What's up, everyone?"
There you go.
Done and done. That's incredible. All right, so cask 3, 156 bottles, 127.1 proof.
127. Borderline 130 proof right now.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I hope people have figured out when I back away from the camera and I just moan, like,
I think they got it.
Yeah. That's good. Back away from the mic.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Oh my God, dude.
You haven't drank Bailey's from a shoe?
Old Greg. It smells. Old Greg. Oh my God. I'm calling that for the single barrel that Tim Bip does, the Old Greg. Calling it right now. It's on the thing.
Yeah, but nobody knows that.
They do now. Oh my God, dude. This is the pour.
This has got me feeling some kind of way.
156 bottles, 127.1 proof.
I have experienced this a few times since the podcast has started. Not just within the podcast, but I'm more aware of it now than I was before. But you know those moments where you try something for the first time and you just feel like
I'm already figuring out.
You're on the team of greatness.
I'm already figuring out next week what time I'm off to hope that they still have this left so I can get all 3 of these. But this number 3.
Do you want me to text Greg and ask if he can hold him?
Yeah. Like tell him I'll be there next week. I'll run back to Lawrenceburg to buy 3 of these bottles. Number 3 is on a level. Oh my. Oh my. Have you ever, one of my favorite things, have you ever ate a potato chip and then turned around and ate a chocolate bar?
Well, yeah, but there's also like Old Kentucky Chocolates has those chocolate covered potato chips.
Well, that's what this is.
I haven't tasted it yet, so.
That's what this is. It's savory and it's sweet and it just Kentucky hugs you and it
goes fruity on the back half.
It definitely gets lighter. It gets savory on the front and then lighter on the back.
It's like watermelon bubble gum.
Oh my. Big League Chew.
Crap, man.
This is good.
This might be the best first run of products from a company that I have ever had. Whether they have sourced it or distilled it themselves.
I mean,
I'm talking Wilderness Trail, New Riff, EJ Curly. I mean, this is like, this is what you want your first releases to be.
I yesterday when I got to try them, and even, I mean, 100% transparency, I was there with the people who did this, and there wasn't a single thing in my head that was negative about this release. I was honestly thinking, like, if people get to try this and get the word out, this is an instant sellout. This is selling out if people get to try this. I think the problem is it's distillery only.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, unless you're close or maybe you followed them for a while, you may not know about it. And if you're close, this is an instant buy for me. All three.
Yeah.
And Cask 3 is something special.
I mean, in order of bottles that I would prefer, it's 3, 2, 1.
Oh, 3, 2, 1.
And that's not even saying that like 1 is bad. It's just I prefer 3 the most.
That's it. That's what I said, and I think that's what Greg was saying too when I was talking to him. 3, he was like, I tried 3 again, and like it's crazy. 1 is a nerdy bourbon pour to me.
Yeah.
You want to dissect it a little bit. 2 is the dangerous. It's good. I can't believe it's this proof. 3 is just the best of everything. So yeah, 3 is the allocated product. 2 is the I'm going to kill this. And 1 is the, hey, let's throw this in a blind and complicate things.
I also figured out what's going on with 1 that I loved so much. It is that smell of movie theater butter popcorn that is like stuck in everything when you first walk in.
Oh, I see that.
You know what I'm talking about though? Like it's
there's the rye that I tried.
Yeah. So 7 years, 7 months. Can we talk? I guess it's on the.
It's on that. Yeah. That's coming out later. Greg said he wanted to get these out first, and then he's going to release what he says is the best rye he's ever had. And what I say is, I agree. I agree. Like it was a great rye.
So 7 years, 7 months, single barrel cask strength, unfiltered. Cask 1 is 111.7 and Cask 2 is 112.1. They also have a 10-plus-year-old rye, small batch cask strength, unfiltered on the docket. Batch 1, 5 casks, approximately 118 proof. Actually, that's the same for batch 2 as well. But then at the bottom of the page, they also say private cask program. Anyway.
This shit's good. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm a big fan of what they're doing, man. I think that we wind up getting into a spot with NDPs where it sounds like we're giving them a lot of credit for making the whiskey. And sure, Lawrenceburg has not actually made these products, but they have given them the stamp of approval to be something that they want to have their name on, that they want to sell. And this is such a good indication of, I mean, if the future is as bright as it looks to be,
well,
we're in for a treat.
I think the thing too is people can say all they want about like they source this and all that, but the people behind the brand have to approve of this.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. And if that person has a good enough palate to approve of this, then they're going to have a good enough palate to approve if they just start to distill their own or something like that. Like, you've got to trust the people behind the brand. You don't just want to say, well, yeah, they got good product or whatever. No, like that person knew what they were doing because they trusted it enough and they had a good enough palate to put that out. Like,
yeah, for sure.
If somebody gave them the crap whiskey that they didn't sell and they said, you know what, just throw it in a bottle, we'll sell it anyway, then yeah, that's a negative. But like they said, hey, This is our first release. We're releasing 3 things, and this lives up to our expectations. I think this is going to be successful. So trust them. Like, don't just throw them off because they're a source brand or anything like that.
I'm going to go in order, and I'm going to just give my total score.
Okay.
Or what I've kind of estimated it would be for casks 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Out of 20. 14, 15, 16.
14, 15, 16. Okay.
I think that they are all remarkably close. I would even be willing to bump up cask 3 to a 17.
Yeah.
And actually I'm going to 14, 15, 17.
All right. Whiskey Mutant. 3, 18.
Okay.
2, 16.
Okay.
1, 15.5. 1 and 2 are so close, but like they're different occasion pours. Like 1 is more complex, but 2, I just want to kill the bottle. And then 3, it borderlines.
3 is like something I want to put in the back of my cabinet and not pull out unless
exactly. It's the special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. It's 3, 2, 1 in order of preference, and none of them are below a 15.
I'm too curious. I have to do it.
No, I got to too. Mix them all.
It's cornbread pancakes.
Ooh, I love that.
With maple syrup.
The blend is 19. The blend is 19. The blend is 19 out of 20. A 1-to-1-to-1 blend of all 3 is.
Oh my gosh.
It tastes double the age. The finish is amazing. And I just want to drink it all.
That proof is stupid. I mean, you get so much alcohol with it, but the flavor profile is so present. I mean, you're not sacrificing anything.
Greg, blend them all 3.
Blend hold back a few bottles so that you can do a special blended cask release or something. Dang.
Wow.
Y'all go check out Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Yes.
I mean,
and if you're listening and you're like, well, I got a trip planned, like yes, they're a new company. They're smaller. You've probably already planned your trip to Four Roses or Wild Turkey. Add them to the list. Stop in and do a tasting. Grab a bottle. I mean, it's worth every bit of your time. And it's honestly, everything is like 5 to 10 minutes apart from each other. Like, this should be on your things to do if you're planning a trip to Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's the show. See you later.
No, we still got more stuff to do.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
I built this whole, like,
I know.
foundation.
I know.
You just come in and you're like, I don't want to do it that way.
I know.
I guess this is, I'll get to it in a second.
What? You got a hot take?
No.
You do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
The no on that was yes, I do, but I'm trying to be nice.
I think I kind of gave my hot take during the main conversation portion.
Oh yeah.
Be humble.
Be humble. Kendrick Lamar.
Great friggin' song.
Fucking amazing.
Such a great song. Do you want to talk about Taco Bell again?
No, I'm not talking about Taco Bell again.
Well, you said that you might.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
This has been too good of a review. I'm not doing anything negative.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
I could talk about old people. I could talk about people on Instagram. I could talk about people who think that just because you don't text them back or message them back within like 2 minutes that they get pissed.
That
I
they're
think
mad at you.
that they're mad. Like,
Or you're
no,
mad at them. Yeah.
we're busy people. We work. We have families.
We's trying.
We's trying, but I won't go into details. So I think you got the hot take of that one.
Yep. Tips and bits, though.
Tips and bits. What you got? You go first.
All right. So I'm going to start out with the things that I've watched this past week that I didn't enjoy. It was a cat door.
Okay.
Yeah. Our cats have just lost their minds for some reason.
They rule
recently.
this place.
No, they absolutely do.
Yeah.
Many people would think it's the dogs, but the cats are king and queen bees.
Yeah.
Anyway, I watched 3 movies this week
All bad.
that all sucked. I'll go in descending order of bad to worst.
So
Okay.
the first one is the best of the bad.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was the new Green Lantern animated movie that DC.
I've not watched that.
It's so just empty.
Is it a core movie or is it a single Green Lantern?
It's a Jon Stewart movie.
Oh, John Stewart. Okay.
And I like Jon Stewart. I prefer Hal Jordan. But I do like
You
Jon
don't like
Stewart quite a
Vesti?
bit. Guy Gardner?
You don't like Vesti?
Uh,
He's the wild card.
Vesti Bowcut?
He's the wild card. No, I love Hal Stewart too.
Hal Stewart.
What did I say?
You said Hal Stewart.
I combined two.
Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart?
Hal Jordan. Sorry.
Hal Jordan is my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I know he's got a lot of problems with him, but I like the flawed nature
Yeah.
of his character. Just a very empty movie. I mean, like I didn't feel compelled to get invested with the characters the way that I normally do with DC animated projects. Especially somebody like Jon Stewart, who has such a great backstory and such a rich character history that I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the next one down, which I was finishing up as you were getting to our house,
Walked in on that one.
was the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
John Leguizamo.
Wow. Poor John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo is doing everything he can in that movie to give his best performance possible.
Did you get a chance to watch the menu?
No, I've not seen
He's
it
in
yet.
it.
Oh, is he really?
Mhm.
I really like him. I
Yeah.
mean, I've
He's good in the menu.
like even in Super Mario Bros. I still
He's
like
doing
him.
what he can.
He is, and I like him as an actor. I think that he has a lot of endearing qualities about his persona. Really bad movie though.
Oh, I don't even understand it half the time.
Okay, so
the Koopas are like
no, those are the
even,
Goombas.
the Goombas. I mean, are like the little head, the big body.
Okay,
things.
so let me walk through this a little
King
bit.
Koopa's slick. His hair slicked
wanna-
back.
Just give me the chance to kind of walk through this a little bit. If I'm looking at it from
They
like
got the super scope in there.
I'm looking at it from a big picture, I kind of understand what they were trying to do with it, right? They were trying to make it this almost kind of like
stupid boots.
the boots were awful. They were trying to make it this like alternate take on the Mario lore. Kind of like in the same way that the He-Man live action movie did. You know what I mean? Like they're not.
But this was like what, 90 something?
This was 93 when this movie came out. You spend 75 to 80% of the movie with Mario and Luigi not in their classic costumes.
Yeah.
Which
got like,
is-
they're just like in their apartment. Just
And the
chilling.
reason that they find them is because they happen to stumble into a janitor's closet, which is dumb. this is easily what's the name of the guy who plays President Koopa?
Oh shit. Oh no.
He sucks. It's a really bad performance. I've seen him in other things, and he's not been this bad, but it's such a like uninspired performance that I can't.
Not the new one. Jesus Christ. I'm just laughing.
Charles Martinet. It's just vapid. It has no heart to it at all.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, man.
Freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly. It just makes me sad watching that performance. It's like somebody who knows what good acting is, but they're trying to do an example of bad acting. You know?
Mm-hmm. What's your number one bad?
Huh? Oh, my number one bad movie that I watched this week?
Yeah.
I'll get to it in a second.
I'm more curious about that now.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have any redeeming qualities to talk about my number one. But my number two, at least there's a cute little monkey that's dressed up in a suit that kind of hops around at the end. I saw the monkey and I was like, oh, I'm happy right now.
I love little monkeys right now.
Yeah.
Like if you're
in monkey mode.
I'm in monkey mode. There's little monkeys everywhere on my Instagram.
Never go full monkey mode.
No, not full monkey. Orangutan. That's kind of the middle, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
My number one movie that I watched this week that absolutely sucked big old donkey balls.
Donkey Kong balls.
Donkey
to
Kong
bring
balls.
It back.
Pun unintended because it did suck. Morbius.
Oh Lord.
I did not know until this week. It's on Netflix.
It's Morbin time.
Have you watched it yet?
Yeah. It's bad.
What an
It's
absolutely soulless, heartless.
And they were trying to make a whole universe on this. It's not good. Jared Leto, stop. Get
Why
some help.
are we still giving him roles?
No, stop it. Get
in
some
movies.
help.
He is slated
He's supposed to be in the new Tron.
That's what I was just about to say. I was just about to say that he's supposed to be in the new Tron movie. Disney should not be casting him in anything.
I know Disney's listening to this.
Surely they are.
Yeah.
Or at least they're like AI robots or
recast.
Yeah.
Recast.
I just throughout it out loud just kept going, you have got to be kidding me.
It's
or
bad.
like that doesn't make any sense.
Real bad.
And I love Matt Smith to death.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite Doctor Who doctors. Horrible performance from him. But I will chalk it up to I think the writing was abysmal.
Yeah.
I think it was some of the worst writing I have ever had to witness in a movie. I didn't buy the romance in it. I think Jared Leto he's just a bad actor. I think that he was a good actor after or before.
He's good in things.
The last good thing he was in was American Psycho.
Was he in Gucci?
Yeah, he was. He was Gucci.
Yeah. Okay.
In like
Gucci
3 pounds of makeup.
Yeah.
But it's so bad, man.
Yeah.
It's such a horrible movie. But like I wanted to watch it just for trying to understand why it was so bad.
Yeah.
Kind of the same reason that I watched the Mario movie.
Yeah. There's movies you want to watch because they're bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of on this quest or journey right now to watch movies that I know I'm not going to like, but
you want
I
to
at least
depress yourself.
I at least need to. No, I want to engage with
Why
that.
do you want to hurt yourself?
Well, it was because my dog ran away when I was 4.
Yeah, my dad never came back with the cigarettes.
I've never fully recovered from it.
So that's why we watch bad movies. That's
I just want to feel something again.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't have a dog until I was like 16.
Yeah, I did have a dad since I was born.
This is 3 episodes in a row that we've talked about your absentee father.
I think he liked chocolate milk instead of regular milk.
I think he went to the McDonald's and
it was definitely a gas station.
Oh, gas station. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy.
I've got some positive tips and bits too, but if you,
I got one.
Hand it off to you.
I got one tips and bits.
Okay.
The Last of Us. But
I forgot a bad tips and bits.
What's your bad tips and bits?
Velma, horrible.
It's
I've
awful.
Watched it. It is so bad.
I heard so many bad things about it. I didn't even.
And not even in like a media's woke now kind of thing, because it's not even woke. It's just trash.
Yeah,
it's just a really, really bad show, and I'm going to continue to hate watch it until the end of the season when it gets inevitably canceled. Yeah. But The Last of Us.
So
holy crap!
I started The Last of Us on HBO Max. I got halfway through the first episode and I stopped. You know why? Because I got mad at myself because I hadn't played the video game. So I plugged up the PlayStation 4 and I downloaded the video game, which is only $19.99 right now. And I decided to do something I've never done before with a different media to TV show thing. Whether it's The Walking Dead, an anime or manga to anime, I am currently playing the game as I watch the show.
Dude, that's so cool.
So I watched episode 1, and now I'm playing up to the point where I feel like it's around the same time as episode 2 starts, and then I will just keep doing that. Episode 1, I fucking bawled.
Dude,
I cried. And then I turned around and Perry, I knew what was happening in the video game and I cried again. I've cried several times in the last week. Both times that I knew what was happening. It's different, but it's the same, and I cried both times. But The Last of Us TV show, freaking amazing. As someone who is playing the video game right now, I can say you don't have to have played it to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But as
somebody who has not played the game but is only watching the show, I very, very much enjoy it.
Yes.
I don't think that it is going to reach the like cultural phenomenon of something like The Walking Dead.
I hope it doesn't, because I feel like they just drag things on when it gets to that point.
No, they do. They do. I want this to end at an appropriate time. Yeah. Pedro Pascal is
amazing. Both little girls who are in the show are amazing.
Don't get me started, man. I'm already feeling like emotional about it, like thinking, but
playing the game.
What a good dad.
Yes. Playing the game along with the show is just something that I've never done, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to continue to do it side by side. But either way, the game is fun and sad. The show is fun and sad. And I recommend both of them. And if you've not played the game and you're watching the show, and you have a PlayStation or whatever, join me in my journey, because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. So I recommend a video game and a show, which are the same. And I've cried on both of them. So I admit it. You good? Yeah. Good, bro.
I started like breathing weird, and I started to get the hiccups.
Yeah, I saw that. You were trying to cut back the ups.
I hate the hiccups.
They're the worst.
It's my least favorite.
They don't make any sense.
No, they don't. It's my least favorite bodily function.
Yeah. You know what my favorite is?
Being able to wave hi to a friend?
No. So my wife?
When you hug?
No.
When you give somebody a Jesus side hug?
Oh, I love that too, but like it's not my favorite.
So the boobies don't touch your chest?
No, I like when the boobies touch my chest. That's my favorite.
Sorry. I got a couple of more positive tips and
You're
bits.
talking about books again?
No, not this week.
Okay.
I've had to take a break from books for a little bit because I needed some other media to consume. Dispatches from Myrtle Beach.
What?
Is a podcast with Link from Rhett and Link and Link's dad.
Oh, because his dad lives in Myrtle Beach, right?
Because his dad lives in Myrtle Beach. And it's exactly what I would think a podcast with my dad would be if my dad were 75 and retired. Like me just trying to keep things on track. And, you know, but it's just like 30 minutes long and it's so wholesome. I mean, it's just a very peaceful, like, chunk out of one day out of your week where you just kind of get refreshed and you hear somebody who's loving life and having a good time about it. He does in like a letters segment every week too, where he reads out dirty jokes from emails that he's been sent.
Lord.
So I'm going to send him my dad's favorite dirty joke.
Oh, yeah?
I'll leave it in for Patreon, but I'm going to cut it out for the main episode. So a guy walks into a bar.
Yeah.
Female bartender.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Behind the bar. He sees a sign next to her that says cheese sandwiches, $3.
Yeah.
Hand jobs, $5.
Okay.
Takes a seat at the bar. Bartender comes up, take care of him. She goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "Who gives the hand jobs around here?" She goes, "Well, it's me."
Yeah.
He goes, "Wash your hands and go make me a cheese sandwich."
That's pretty good.
I know, right?
Can you send mine in?
What's yours?
I think I said it on here before, but a little penguin his car broke down.
I don't know if you have said this.
He drops his car off. He goes to a deli. He eats a sandwich. He comes back and he goes, "What was wrong with my car?" And they go, "You look like you just blew a seal." He goes, "No, man, I swear that's just mayonnaise." That's I learned that when I was really young, and it stuck with me forever. So send that one in too.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. So, yeah, I think I'm going to leave the both of them in.
Yeah.
Just-
You know what else you can leave in? Patreon.com.
Well, I had another. I'll save it until next week.
Do you want to say it?
Nah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll save it until next week. I don't
Okay.
care. We got time. I got it.
You should say it, and then only people who are on Patreon will hear it.
No, I'm gonna save it for next week.
Okay. Do you know what people can do to listen to us all week long?
Stalk us.
Well, that too. But
Follow us around. Tap
No.
into our phones.
no, they can go to Patreon.
Say, what's Perry doing right this
They
second?
can go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. For as little as $1 a month, they can support the show. But at $5, they get all the bonus content.
It's true.
The uncut episodes.
The
Right.
pregame chat.
The pregame chats, the bonus stuff we're doing right now,
The Mutant
Mutant
Madness.
Madness. We do stuff called Pours from the Floor, where we clean up my floor with bottles. We do stuff called Sampling Irresistible, where we get all the samples that Perry's forgot about, and we drink them and we talk about them. And you get first dibs at VIP tickets to This is My Bourbon Podcast Weekend 2023, which is happening.
And barrel picks.
Samples, pairings,
early news, just all that kind of stuff. Patreon is the best place for you to find out all of the pertinent information about This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It's important to support the show, and it's important to, I don't know,
be a family.
Be a family.
Yeah, Vin Diesel said it best. Family.
Rub that shiny head for good luck.
If you want to send us a question or a comment or just an email, send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to get some merchandise with the 10-bip logo on it or something that Perry's designed, bourbonshop.threadless.com. If you want to send us a barrel rings, which I heard we have one, and do we want to save it till
Let's
the end?
do it right now. You ready for this?
If you want to send one, 859-428-8253. It's a voicemail. We'll play it. We'll reply to you, and here we go.
Perry, Eric, congratulations. You are cordially invited to participate in the world-renowned 2023 Matt Madness Whiskey Tasting Invitational.
Oh my!
It's some fudge. I tried to read, and I can't read.
Is that Porter? Matt Porter?
You're invited. I fudged that up. This is why I edit videos. Son of a bitch. God damn it.
So good.
So the spoiler alert was, yes, Perry's been on it the last 2 years.
Yeah, I have. But guess what?
But guess what?
Guessed what? Jeez Louise.
But guess what?
We got somebody competing in the 2023 edition of Matt Madness. We got a new competitor. He stands at a whopping 5'9.5". He's got tattoos in places that you are not even allowed to see. And he constantly posts on social media about how his wife is a redheaded MILF.
I do.
That's right.
It's me.
That's right. It is the one, the only. It's Whiskey Mutant.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I'm in Mutant Madness.
You're in Matt Madness.
I'm a mutant that's mad. No,
Look at those waveforms, by the way.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like I guess I'm in the qualifying round of Matt Madness.
You are. So next week and the week after, on Patreon, Eric and I are going to be training together, actually, to get ourselves prepared.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating right now.
I understand. It is nerve-wracking. But here's the thing. If you don't stand up in your chair, you're going to be okay.
Should I do the whole Matt Madness standing in
do
my
it
chair?
Here in the chair.
Oh, my God. I'm nervous.
I would love for you to come over and do it here.
Let's see what the schedule says. I don't know.
I know.
Either way, what if we end up competing against each other?
I kind of think we're going to.
I don't know what's going on.
All right. Anyway. Yeah, Eric's going to be
Matt.
in Matt Madness this year.
No joke. Like, I appreciate him reaching out and saying, hey, I want you to be a part of this. Like it just means it's a big deal to me. Like I know some people may be like, well, it's just for fun and all that. No, like it's like I've got to know Matt over the last couple of years. We've talked about bourbon, snacks, barrel picks and stuff like that. And the fact that he would consider me, it's a big deal.
Have you made him cry though?
No, I made him laugh. I hugged him.
I've done all three of those things.
I get it. Oh, I'm going to compete against you. We're going to...
You know we're going to go up against each other.
I know you way too well. I'm going to throw you off. I don't know how this works, but anyway. So.
I'm going to eat a lot of Taco Bell right before the competition.
I will end you.
You know, we didn't even talk about the glasses that we got from Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Look at this.
Little mason jar
glasses
with some
topper on it.
handle on it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I was going to mention Doka Ryan as well.
Oh, yeah?
On Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah.
The guy who puts stuff in jars.
Yeah. He's really funny, though.
Oh, he's great.
I really enjoy him.
I've been following him for a couple of days. I just found him. Sorry.
I didn't know about him until you did.
Well,
and now I want him on the podcast.
He's awesome. He puts stuff in a jar and then he pours vodka or beer or
alcohol.
whiskey or
Just
anything
alcohol
in it
in
and
general.
lets it sit, and then he tries it, and it's crazy.
What is your dream? I left something in a jar with bourbon in it for a week.
Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof and fudge rounds.
Okay. I'd say we do that and we offer him a guest spot on the podcast.
Oh,
because
my God. How long do you think that should sit in a jar? Fudge round and Jack Daniel's
a
Barrel
week
Proof. A week?
or until something happens.
There you go. You've been watching the videos. So if you want to find him, you can go to Instagram. If you want to find us, you can also go to Instagram or any other social media outlet at My Bourbon Pod. You can follow the show. You can follow Perry on Instagram, Twitter at PRitter1792. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant on TikTok and Instagram. And then you can go to YouTube. You can watch this show right now.
You can watch the video version of it.
Perry edits and puts it on there for you, and I just wait for it to pop up because that's what a co-host does. But yes, youtube.com/This Is My Bourbon Podcast. You can watch the live version of the show, and then you can watch Perry go live every Thursday night at 8, where he does stuff.
Yes.
And you know what that means? You said earlier that I was going to go to day shift, so it probably means I may be able to start getting on the lives more often.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see
Here's
about
what I'm
that.
thinking. I'm thinking
What are you thinking?
every other week.
I think I could probably pull that off.
Yeah, you
So
can.
yeah. So
Yeah, you
YouTube. If you want to leave a rating on the Apple Podcast app or Spotify, you can leave a number rating, right?
Yes, you can hit the 5 stars on Spotify, but it's directly in app for Apple Podcasts where you can leave us a 5-star rating and a review. I've got a little review here too if you want to.
Yeah. Leave a review and tell people about us. That's the best thing you can do. And
That's how we grow.
That's the best thing you can do. So let's hear that review.
Oh, this boy's got bars.
Yeah,
He's
that's
spitting.
right. Easy.
This is a 5-star review from Chauncey M45.
Chauncey M45.
Great podcast covering more than just bourbon.
That's what I love about
That's what's
this.
up. This podcast has become one of my favorites. The hosts have great chemistry and are able to talk about more than just bourbon. Star Wars, horror movies, Dragon Ball Z,
Whoa!
Disney, etc. They do great, honest reviews of whiskeys without coming across as condescending or having a bias. Also covers news and trending topics in the whiskey industry. A+.
That's the best grade I've ever got.
That's the first A+ we've ever gotten on the podcast. But man,
Look at that. That's all my favorite stuff. Star Wars, horror movies, Dragon Ball Z. He said it all.
I think that about does it this week, though.
That's a good episode.
Right? This has been a great episode. We called some people out.
Called people out.
We
Had some new
reviewed
products that
some.
are amazing.
Yeah.
Talked about new stuff. I feel like you want to say one more thing.
Nah, I don't.
Really?
Well, I
Say
could.
it. Say it.
I'll say one more thing.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say, hated that run up. But anyway, I'm too far into it. We will see you guys next week. Thank you all so much, as always, for listening, watching, supporting the show. It is the most important thing about This Is My Bourbon Podcast, that there are people who actually listen to it and enjoy it. We'll see you all real soon. Until next time, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric the Whiskey Mutant.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast. You want to harmonize real quick?
Yeah.
Give me a note. Wait, no, that's the same note, but an octave up. Go again.
This is my bourbon podcast.
Dang it. All right, good enough.
See ya.